Hello everybody out there, I'm Chris.
I'm Mike.
And welcome back to another indie comic book review. Guys, things are a little late this week. Things are going to be a little off kilter. I'll explain why during the haul video this weekend. Why things are a little bit off, or will be off for at least the next week and a half. Things will be getting back to normal. Again, check out the haul this Friday. Probably be up on Saturday morning, and that will explain everything that's going on. The books in this indie review, however, were released on
February 18, 2015.
However, the first two books we are
however.
going to review were not released this week. They were released before. We're going to start with Nightmare World chapters
6 and 7.
And chapter 6.
Or the 5 and 6. Yeah, 6 and 7. Yeah.
Bitter Wine is the first one, and I really like the katana sword in the
Here's
beginning.
the cover for that. So in Bitter Wine, it's basically more of a samurai story of, you know, and yeah, I love the artwork actually, where, you know, like he's fighting against this other samurai, and it appeared to be his brother of who he was, because he identified himself, and it kind of gave me that Bushido feel. Like, remember when we read that book, Bushido? Like, while I was reading this, I was thinking of, oh, it was just like that book we read, and then Toshi, their master, actually came in, and he chops the head off of the person who he revealed himself as his brother, but then in the end, he's like, he does it to his other son. So basically, he decapitates both his sons. And that was kind of like, okay.
Next is Try Honesty.
Thy Honesty.
Thy Honesty or Try?
Thy Honesty. Try?
T-R-Y, Mike.
Oh, look like an H. Oh.
Try Honesty.
Sorry. Try Honesty. So it's this guy who is talking to this girl, Melissa. Now, it's throughout the whole thing of how he murdered her husband, Rick, just to be with her. And then he says, oh, I love you and everything. And in the end, he was talking to nobody. It was like he was practicing, or rehearsing actually, what he wanted to say to Melissa about the whole killing and everything. So that was kind of a bit freaky, but in a good way though, and weird too, by the way. But the artwork was great, and the story was very interesting. I'm loving it, Dirk Manning's stories of the Nightmare World. It's like a really enjoyable read I look forward to reading, definitely, each and every week for the indie review. And I'll be looking to the, I think there's like 4 more chapters left, I believe.
Maybe. Wow, it looks like.
Yeah, there are more chapters left, however many more chapters.
There's Nightmare World Volume 2, 3, and 4 also, I believe.
Oh, good, so I'll definitely be reading those, absolutely.
However, I have to top yours with Mystery.
Yep, here's the cover.
And I'm going to pronounce it again, Mr. Ree, to make sure everybody understands. This is Volume 1,
oh, oops, sorry.
What was it called?
It's
Tales of Mystery, Volume 1, Procreation of the Wicked. And this chapter, we get the origin story that, well, I get the origin story that I've been waiting for since chapter 1. We find out how Mr. Ree became Mr. Ree and who he was before that. Turns out his brother is in jail for killing somebody whom he claims he didn't kill. And apparently the brother thought that he was dead. And so did the mother. Because a fire happened in their house and they thought that he died in the fire. And that's where we get the origin. It turned out he tried to summon a demon to help his mom with the money problems.
This was interesting. I read this
and it didn't go so well. I like how in this issue we find out why he became a paranormal detective, why he helps people who need help in the paranormal. And this wizard takes him under his wing. We find out the mark on his head is actually a mark of protection. The wizard teaches him how to on his magical powers and abilities. And basically that's his life story. So this was basically a way of Dirk Manning to show us.
Yeah, because I was waiting for an origin story to happen.
Mr. Ree's background. And then his brother, he asked him, did you really do it? And the brother's like, no, I didn't do it. I'm on death row. You got to get me out of here if you have all these magical powers. And he uses his magic to make his brother tell the truth. And it turns out the brother was lying. So he said, if you would have told the truth, I would have helped you. But since you didn't, and he just walks out.
Wow.
This was an excellent chapter. My favorite so far. I like the origin, so to speak, of how Mr. Ree became Mr. Ree. The
Absolutely.
artwork's done excellently. The story itself is really good. The ending definitely was a shock factor a bit, that he actually walked out on his own brother because his brother lied to him. This is your brother. How do you lie to your brother?
Exactly. Like,
even if it was an accident, you did it. Own up to it.
that's something.
So,
but yeah, I read a little bit of it, and that was interesting.
This was a really good chapter. I really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend you guys check out Tales of Mr. Ree. As this video is going up, there are still 7 days left, or 6 now because it's 1 in the morning. 6 or 7 days left to the Mr. Ree, what was volume 2 called? Tales of Mr. Ree, Carmageddon.
Yeah.
Hardcover book, which it was funded. However, there are a ton of stretch goals, and it's really worth the funding. Mr. Ree is an excellent story. I'm really enjoying the book, and we already, both Mike and myself, put money down for the Tales of Mr. Ree, Carmageddon. We actually went for, you guys will see when we actually get it in the mail,
right.
But definitely looking forward to getting our physical copy of Carmageddon.
And speaking of physical copies, we have 5 physicals.
Yes, now we're going into this week.
Yeah, of February 18th. I have 3, and Chris has 2 of the physicals.
And we have 11 digital.
And 11
mostly
digital.
Michael's. I think I only have 2 digital.
Or 3, something.
2 digital, 1 honorable mention.
Alright, well, anyway, let's start with some Archie Comics Mega Man, issue number 46. The next part to Betrayal, where it's now Mega Man versus Proto Man, with amazing artwork still. I definitely have to give credit to that. And he's just fighting off against him, and he's like saying, you know, like, what is your deal? Like, are you trying to help me, or do you want to fight me? So he's like saying, you know, Dr. Light, he's using you as a weapon and everything. And there's like an origin story that happened where he was first Dr. Light's robot and stuff like that. And it was mentioned, let's look at, it's Breakman's origin in Mega Man Volume 5. So you can check out his origin story there. And I'm actually probably going to get that and stuff. So he's trying not to kill Proto Man, because that's what Mega Man is. Dr. Light is trying to, you know, he's worried about Mega Man, and Dr. Light is worried about Mega Man, and then Dr. Wily, I get those doctors mixed up all the time, of his plans, and it's just really a whole fight scene between him and Proto Man, and that's really it. So now he goes into this, and this cave, and actually, you remember this guy that's in Smash Bros. On the Wily stage? Yeah, he actually meets up with this interesting character known as the Yellow Devil, Mark II. Yeah, he appears in the Smash Bros. Stage. The Wii U one.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, really interesting. Definitely check this out. This was like a really great book. I'm enjoying this as well as the artwork, so this is a must-read for you Mega Man fans. I'm waiting for Worlds Unite, where
it's coming.
Mega Man and Sonic team up again for the 2nd time.
My favorite physical book of the week goes to Invincible 117. So this is the issue where Mark and Eve are setting up to leave Earth. So they're doing their last-minute everythings. There's a nice part at the very beginning with a comic shop. Mark ends up saving somebody who's in trouble. However, Max shows up not even 2 seconds later and finishes off the job. You see that he's still getting pissed and he wants to fight back against him, but I'm not Max, Rex. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said Max. He wants to fight against Rex, but his mind is only on his family. He's like, I have a family now, I have a daughter, I can't deal with this anymore. And then Sinclair shows up and says, if you were to stand up against Rex, know that there are other people that would stand with you. Telling their friend that they're leaving, it doesn't go so well. There's also another fight, another piece of the fight.
Very bloody.
It got very bloody. There's also a moment with Eve and Mark where Eve wants something, and you can see that the ramifications of what happened in issue 111 are starting to creep their way in. So Eve's parents are having a hard time dealing with them leaving. Mark's mom understands the father, kind of does too, but Mark tries to make peace with the dad, or as much as he can at least, and they leave. And I'm surprised because in every issue up to this point, somebody was trying to convince Mark to stay and fight Rex. And Mark actually, in several occasions, you would think that Mark would actually say, I'm invincible, I've got to stop this guy. And he, in the end, because of his daughter and because of his family, he chose to leave Earth instead and let Earth fend for itself. Obviously, at some point, he's going to come back and hopefully he'll kick Rex's ass. But for right now,
let's just see what
we're going to see the next part of the story where him and his family are now off in space.
Alright, so now the rest of the comics are Zenescope. So let's talk about Scary Tales of Grimm Tales of Terror, issue number 8. And in this one of this story, this actually talks about a stranger who actually picks up a young hitchhiker along the road. And of course, this woman comes in the beginning of the story and finds this guy. And then he's like saying, like there's a similar story. So this guy picks up this girl and it's like off the road and everything. And she's like saying, these guys look for one thing that they do, and the one thing he does was that, and then she's like saying, just like all these other people, and here's some artwork, by the way. And the guy winds up killing the young hitchhiker, makes a burial, and everything else that happens, and then when he sees spirits, he gets basically what he gets in the end, and that was very a messed up story. Let's just put it that way in clear terms. And it turns out in the end, the guy was in the beginning of this book, gets run over by a truck.
Everybody she tells a story to.
I know, right? And that's what's really interesting about the book. I mean, just the stories and then the ramifications that happen at the end. This is something that's absolutely... Zenescope, their Grimm Tales of Terror is just amazing. I mean, each and every week, or each and every time the issue comes out, I look forward to seeing what stories, like scary stories, are going to be told. It's like sitting at a campfire reading it.
Charmed issue number 5. It still definitely is holding my interest. Now, you guys know I've never watched an episode of Charmed. I've read a little bit of the previous volume, but in the end, I'm really not too connected to Charmed. But in this story, we find out that Cole ends up dying in the previous issue, and now he's kind of stuck in limbo. Because the demon inside of him, or his stronger half basically, wants them to merge again. And if they merge, because apparently they separated before in the series, if they merge, Cole will be able to come out of the stabbing, and he won't die. His soul won't be erased completely. While back in the conscious world, you've got the Charmed Ones fighting the demon who has the dagger. And long fight short, let's just say that the Charmed Ones actually get the dagger back. However, Cole does not submit to the demon, and he goes as well. And now, what's her name? Prue wants to try to bring Cole back. And Cole sacrificed himself for Cupid. So basically, she reaches out to... what was it?
Will.
I think
I just saw the name. My mistake.
I'm trying to think if it was Will. I'm not sure what his name was. His name left me completely.
Good thing for the Cliff Notes.
No, I don't have it.
Probably is Will. But I see the.
Well, whatever his name. Willow the Witch. Willow is one of the...
Well, I didn't
so anyway,
say...
now it looks like Prue is hatching a plan to try to bring Cole back. However, we all know that Demon tried to remerge with him, so will Cole come back as Cole, or will he be forced to merge with his darker self again? So we'll see, but I'm definitely enjoying Charm for what it's worth, and for this series, absolutely.
And Book of the Week goes to Patrick Shan's Robin Hood.
Not surprised. Patrick Shan's been doing an excellent job.
Absolutely excellent. Like, this story actually goes more into where there's this, like in the beginning, right here.
I like how her bow and arrow kind of syncs up with her eye.
Yeah, like how it does that and everything. And she calls the bow like Scarlet, which is her favorite bow. And I actually like how she names it and stuff like that. So she does her stuff while there's a new client who filed about a missing persons report for days. And the police didn't trust her. So since both Robyn and Marilyn are the ones that do all these stuff, they believe them and stuff like that. So Robyn just goes around, asking questions about, about the case that they're doing. And if you want to find out more, definitely read the book. There is a little bit of mention of Van Helsing, who actually brings the something for Robyn to use, actually, which I thought was really cool.
I like what happens with Marion in this issue. It is this issue.
Yeah, Marion actually goes on a date with...
she comes out, basically.
Yeah. And there's like this weird looking monster that actually happens because she goes to this cult, I believe it's called. I forgot what the name is at the moment. But wow, she just... At the ending left me like saying like, this devil against, or whatever this creature is against Robyn, that just made my jaw drop saying, oh my god, excellent issue. You guys have got to be reading this. If you haven't, where have you been? You have got to read this. It is just really just amazing. And like he said, Marion actually comes out of the closet and goes on a date with a woman, which is fine.
I think that's really
Same
great.
sex or different, doesn't matter.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Alright, before we get into the digital books, honorable mention goes to Peanuts, issue number 25.
Yes.
It is Peanuts' 65th anniversary. Lots of really nice shorts. Enjoyable story. The artwork is consistent. It's the same with every single story, unlike Garfield, where the artwork is all over the place. I still love Garfield, but at the same time, at least with Peanuts, it's the same type of artwork, and I'm glad for that. I enjoy Peanuts as a guilty pleasure each and every month it comes out. Like I said, it is the 65th anniversary, so you guys should absolutely be checking out Peanuts if you're a fan. Now, going into the book reviews, even though that was technically a book review and a recommendation, in Dark Horse we have Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 10, Issue 12, Part 2 of 2 with Date Night. So we got that big kiss at the end of the last issue with Spike and Buffy, but Spike pushes her away. And I gotta say one thing about the artist, and it's no offense, I love the artwork. My one gripe is that Spike's nose is gigantic.
I didn't even notice that. Oh wait, now I know. Well, when he turns to the side, really, not front ways.
So as the story is continuing, Spike realizes he was an idiot for saying what basically Xander said to Buffy, which was basically, you're just in it for now until things get easy and then you're going to end up leaving me. Honestly, Spike does love Buffy and he wouldn't admit it. The case that Spike was on, however, continues, and Buffy and the rest actually join, oh god, what's this kid's name? I forgot his name. Andrew, in taking out this gigantic monster beast thing, and apparently Andrew comes out of the closet in this issue.
Oh my god, everybody's coming out of the closet!
But Spike finally admits to Buffy, spoiler alert here, that he loves her, and finally they're together. You see that Giles is still kind of going through that he's a kid.
Yeah.
He's kind of having a very hard time coping. And you got Dawn and Xander kind of having their little moment, which I liked. And then there's a moment with Spike also, which the ending was perfect, I think. And it says to be continued. Whoa. This was an excellent book. I would definitely recommend checking it out.
That opened my eyes when I saw that. Oh my god.
Alright, next is a number 1, and it is also from Dark Horse, I believe. And
yes,
it is 8, issue number 1.
Yes, and it's drawn like this. And why is the title 8? And I could just sum this book up in like...
I love how they tell you the past is green, the present is purple, the future is blue, the melding is something else entirely, which is kind of like an orange.
Yeah. So basically it's about this guy who is actually stranded in the middle of nowhere, and he can't remember what happened. And his name is Joshua, and he's trying to get through his frequency radio, and he can't get through it. So he... there's like a flashback of, how he got there. There was like this new invention that this doctor wanted to try. And he said, if you want to get to us, frequency 8 is how you'll get to us. So he uses the frequency and gets like a little shh, but he could still hear it. And then there's this thing about follow the dinosaurs. So he sees the dinosaur and then follows the dinosaur, but then runs into some trouble with these thug gang-like people, and we don't know who they are because we just met them. So they take him in, Joshua, after a blow to the leg, literally.
Ouch.
Yeah, ouch, that's going to hurt. And it just goes back and forth to, you know, how he got to where he is, and that's how the whole shift into gear thing, you know, not Power Ranger pun over there, I'm talking about actually shifting into that, and then going into the time where he doesn't remember what happened, only little bits and pieces. So he goes to the meld, as we said, like it's an orange place, and he starts learning a little bit about things, and then it looks like we're going to get something about the spear that's attacking the villages, and we'll find out more about it, I guess, in the next issue.
Interesting.
Yeah, but this was really interesting. I'm definitely going to look into issue 2 and see what more there is to come for 8.
Alright, we're going into a new Green Hornet. This is Dynamite issue 1, Legendary Green Hornet, but this is done in steampunk style. It actually says, the events in this series take place after Legendary, a steampunk adventure, which I did not read. Trade paperback is in stores now, which I feel bad I didn't read. But anyway, we get introduced to the murder. Oh god, he says his name here.
Murder King?
Yes, the Murder King, I was right.
Yeah.
And it turns out it's his son. He's the son of the Murder King. He's a little boy. And he wants the gangs in New York to fall. He wants his gang, his father's gang, back at the head of New York. But first he wants to take out the other gang, which is led by, I forgot who it was led by. Reed actually gets a visit from, I forgot who this guy was. Trying to see where it is. Mr. Grimes, who he actually is there looking for information on another person called the it was the Tin, not the Veiled Lady. They talk about the Veiled Lady. TikTok. He's a man that's basically inside like a can. He sealed himself in, and he's a religious nut, and he's having a hard time, Mr. Grimes, getting used to everything that's going on. He wants to open up a business, and he knows that he has to get the blessings not only from the legal people but the illegal people. We get a little bit about Lady Vale, which I like that, and it's definitely got some dark stuff going on. And then we go back to the Murder King's son, who wants the Velasa Kings to reign supreme, but in order to do that, they have to take out the other gang, which is led by, and it says it here,
The Tufts?
The Tufts. It's the Tufts, but they're led by, I forgot who they were led by. The Veiled Lady, I was right. So, you got the Murder King and the Velasa Kings, so to speak. Yeah, the Velasa Kings going after the Veiled Lady and the Tufts.
So basically there's like a little war going on.
Yeah, gang war does break out, however, Green Hornet shows up. And he basically saves everyone. He stops basically the killing. But we have somebody else who wants the Murder King to take out the Green Hornet, and in return he'll give the Murder King anything he wants.
That's a badass costume, I'll say that much.
The costume reminds me a lot of Star-Lord, but it is TikTok, by the way.
Oh yeah, it does
shows
look,
up
it does look like Star-Lord.
The mask looks like Star-Lord's. This was an enjoyable issue. I enjoyed it for what it's worth. This was actually the first book I read, which is why I'm so kind of lost with it. I had to remind myself. I really should have looked over this before we did the indie review. I read this book practically a week ago today. No, a week ago minus a day.
Well, rest your voice, because the rest of the reviews are going to be mine.
Yep, the rest is all Michael, but it was an excellent book, and I highly recommend you guys check it out. This is definitely a Dynamite week for the indie review.
Alright, so let's continue, shall we?
Solar Man of the Atom, or Daughter of the Atom, issue number 9.
Okay, so in Solar, basically it's Erica talking about everything that happened throughout the issues to the Professor. So, basically, and this happened in Long Island actually, there's like this really toxic thing that happens where these guys with no faces or anything are just terrorizing the whole waste, the toxic waste workers over there. So it's kind of called Meltdown, this chapter. So both Erica and I think his name is Phil, I don't remember. Well, Erica's father, basically, Phil. They just go out to try to find out, you know, what's going on at the toxic waste. That's what it's called. So they're gonna go do some investigation where the daughter is still trying to, you know, get the hang of using all these mathematical stuff. So they go there and they see equations. So they go to this meltdown and see all this happening, and it's just basically Erica and her father basically going after these people. I can't remember what their names were. I don't even think they even give the name. Probably they don't. Well, maybe not on this one. But the fight and the artwork when they were fighting was really epic and really amazing. There's like newscasters that are all around there saying what's happening. And there is a guy who's behind this, but I'm not going to say who it is, because I want you guys to definitely read the book. But at the end, though, it looks like he's sending out somebody else to take out both Phil and Erica. And he kind of reminds me of Tony Stark.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Alright, we have a new #1 from Dynamite,
Yes.
and it's from King Dynamite. It's Mandrake,
Yeah,
the Magician.
You said
issue
the
#1.
artwork was a little but I actually...
I said no, I said the artwork was good.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I said the artwork was good in this book.
Oh.
No, you got the wrong book up.
Oh, probably. Whoopsie. But anyway, yeah. Mandrake the Magician, it basically talks about his origin story, about how he became a magician. And he's not just any regular magician. This guy is like, what's that magician called? Not the one I'm reading.
A warlock? Like Zatanna?
No. Not like, well, almost like Zatanna, but he's just like, Houdini.
Houdini. Okay.
Yeah, that is the book I'm reading, yeah. So he's like a Houdini-like magician. I'm gonna get it right. So he's using like all these stuff. He actually reminds me of Doctor Strange, sort of.
Yeah,
the way he uses all his magical stuff. He tries to do this hypnosis with people, and it actually works, to be honest. And he just uses these colorful images, and that's what I like about the book. It's like all colorful and really magical, which is what I really loved about this issue. Like Mandrake, by the way, he has an assistant who comes up who actually does magic, but it's a distraction because there's like something that these two people are looking for. I'll finish just a second. And then it's just really just a whole story about them just finding out about this case that shouldn't be opened. And then the rest is basically all about what is to come for future issues and what's to be expected from both Mandrake the Magician.
Well, looks like they took an artifact.
Yeah, something was let out that shouldn't have been let out, so that can't be good. But I love this issue. Definitely gotta check out the next issue of that.
Alright guys, give us a second. We got a couple of books left, so at the
Yep.
click of a button we shall return. Okay, we're back and we're still in Dynamite. We have The Lone Ranger Vindicated, issue #4.
The last issue.
I thought it was the last issue.
And what a way to end it. And let me tell you, and I'm going to spoil this book. I am.
Okay, so spoil.
Because there's a way, but let me just explain what happened. Basically, the Lone Ranger and Tonto, did I say his name right? Good.
After all 4 issues, it's about time.
I said it right. You had to give me time. So they go after, actually the Westerners, these bad guys, go after the girl that the Lone Ranger was with. I can't remember what her name was. No, not Tulsa. Well, Ringo and Tulsa actually go to meet up with this girl. And it's just really the Lone Ranger just going around and trying to find out, you know, what's going on and why everything is in the whole rampage. And actually the Lone Ranger is being like one of the circus act people who does like all these tricks, shooting targets, and basically just providing entertainment is a way of saying it. And this guy is really abusive towards this woman. I can't believe I forgot what her name was. Well, Anyway, so there's like a little thing that's happening. So someone goes to Lone Ranger saying that there is actually something going on, that they got the girl with the red hair, and he knows who she was because they've been, you know, in like a little romantic thing and issues as we read. So Lone Ranger comes in, and long and behold, he just does Lone Ranger stuff by just shooting people and trying to protect. And also Tonto actually comes into action as well. And
nice action there.
Yeah, there is nice action that goes on, and Ringo's taken out, and like really seriously taken out. But this is a spoiler. The woman does get shot by one of the men. However, though, as he goes to see her, she actually dies in this issue. And she's like saying, make sure she gets a proper burial, cost is no issue. Wow.
That was sad.
What an ending. This book has to be digitally second favorite book of the week, because I have a first favorite. This is my second favorite book of the week. Just, it touches your heart just to see that. And man, that was something else. Oh, and here's another something. Oh,
Savage
God.
Dragon 202.
Okay.
How was it?
This book is becoming more like a sexual innuendo dragon. Everything is sexual references in this book. First of all, it talks about Malcolm going in this apartment and meeting with these girls or something like that. The past relationship and present relationship, and then there's a whole three-way that happens at first, and then when this other girl comes in, there's like a four-way. I'm like, oh, what? No, just where the story is just... Anyway, yeah. Going alongside of that, there's a experiment going on in the laboratory where one of the doctors used the antidote, which that antidote is to make the doctor, you know, stronger and everything. So Malcolm knows about the terror that's going on in the city, and goes along with this girl. I can't remember what her name was, and they fight together, crying. And yeah, so they go into the city to take out what's going on and everything. And it's just all this action, the doctor all buffed up and everything. It gets very bloody. I will say that much. And it's just, the whole thing is just that. So then he goes to Maxine, said, you know, we need to talk. And it gets a little better, saying, you know, I don't want to share you with another woman. I want it just to be you and me, and that's it. I'm like, thank you, God, Malcolm, for saving the book a little bit, being compassionate and understanding. But and then it just ends like that, where it's...
I'm glad he got rid of the ex-girlfriend. She was a little too... From what I read, that was a bit strong.
Yeah, and then there was this other side story. I didn't bother to read it, because I was like... It's like an okay, so... The side story, like, what's the point?
Alright, we're in Valiant now.
Yeah.
Speaking of Valiant, we're in The Valiant, issue number 3. How was it?
I don't remember what his name was. Mr. Something. Like first of all, let me explain what happens. In this laboratory, it's like long dialogue, and I'm not going to get into it. You're just going to have to read it. But this guy, what was his name? It was he was in the last story where the little girl heard about him from the father. No, not Gillett. No, Gillett's the warrior. Yeah. Well, anyway, Bloodshot actually goes with this woman who actually said about the story to the mall just to find out how to get rid of this person. I can't remember what the name was. What was interesting about this book is that the villain used the power up to get every one of their weaknesses. For example, Man of War, they get his weakness with his past girlfriend. Remember what we read in that issue? That actually happened for that. For the other... Who is this for?
The woman from Harbinger.
Yeah, from Harbinger. She gets her fear of something. The Ivar Time Walker does as well. And
Woody.
Gillett.
Oh, wow. Everybody.
Yeah, Quantum and Woody. Yeah, everybody gets their fear of what they don't like to see. I just feel really bad. Can't remember what his name was. And it's in the dialogue and you're going too fast.
Yeah, blame me.
But Gilead says, you know, never again will I fail of what I have to do. So he basically fights it and goes off against that guy. I just can't believe I forgot the name.
Part of the Enigma box, maybe.
Well, it does have to do with the Enigma box. That is true. I was going to get to that, where it's making all these chaotic stuff from happening. And then the whole thing that happens after that is... Mr. Flay. That's his name, Mr. Flay. I'll tell you, he almost got everybody.
Looks like he's going after
except
Bloodshot in the next issue.
Yes, so we're definitely going to see some action going on there, but this was pretty good. And here's my book of the week.
Ivar Time Walker, issue number 2.
Digitally. And I could just sum this up. Okay. In Ivar Time Walker, with the woman scientist, they want to prevent history of saying, let's not kill Hitler. Seriously, let's not kill Hitler, because they want to alternate the future, the past of him getting killed never happening. So they do an origin story about Hitler, you know, how he was on the streets and how he became to be Hitler because nobody really cared about him and everything else. So he just says, you know, as a messenger, saying, if you don't like what he did and everything to all the Jews and everything in concentration camp, why don't you kill him, so that way everything will, you know. So she don't want to ruin the present or the future. So she doesn't do that because she feels that it's wrong in her mind. So there's like a big robot that comes in, and then everything goes on, a whole mix around. And they go to the other time where they're at the camp dressed as German soldiers, actually, or Nazi soldiers? Yeah, Nazi soldiers. Yeah. And Ivar's taken to one room while the girl's taken to the other room. And when the other guy comes back, who looks like Ivar, saying, I believe we've never met before, that's really interesting. And next is the experimental history. So history is going to either repeat itself.
Oh, look at that. The Eternal Warrior. I love it.
Yeah. Wow.
And now for the final book of the week, we have Valiant Unity.
Yes.
Issue number 15.
And Unity number 15 focuses more on Ninjak. Yeah, I knew his name, Ninjak. And Ninjak's trying to shake off, you know, of the beating that he got before. It's more of an interdialogue that was said in this book. And he's just saying, you know, how he got healed and who took him in and stuff like that. Then there's like this organization that happens where they want to talk to him about, you know, all these stuff that's been going on. So, yeah, he just gets like all these visions of what he wants to do to people, but he actually doesn't do it. Because that's Ninjak, that's a ninja's instinct. So he's just like saying, you know, all of you got a week off, just leave me to my own, I just gotta relax and everything. So he says, he calls Neville, and then he has a little talk with him about stuff about, you know, what he saw and everything, and then he goes on a date with this woman, and there's like a black eye he has also in the issue, which he doesn't actually talk about, but we know how he got that as the readers. And then as the issue continues, he just goes into this little hut where there are these thugs. He takes them out because he's Ninjak, of course, and he makes it his own place to live. And that's basically the whole story. So now next is Gilead's Eternal War.
Wow! Gilead's in everything!
Yeah, Gilead's going to be in almost everything, so
go Eternal Warrior, shit. Awesome.
Yep, and that, everybody, is the end of the indie review.
That's it for this week, guys. As always, the countdown should be tomorrow, which is Thursday for you guys. Filming for us will be Wednesday. I got a couple more books to read. It's been a very busy weekend.
Yeah.
So we will get the countdown up ASAP, but this should be up ASAP now. Yeah. So anyway, guys, as always, don't forget to check out Comic Related, Comic Frontline Zone 4 Podcast, and Frontline Gaming Zone. Together, we're your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. This Friday, Epic Rewind, the new
Yep.
format where we're going to be talking games. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of people from Frontline Gaming Zone on there and guests, hopefully. As always, feel free to leave comments below. Likes, dislikes, agree, disagree, recommendations. We love hearing from you guys, and we will answer your guys' comments in the comments below. In 2 weeks, on Friday, we'll have Dark Avenger Live, and we'll be definitely talking more comics. But until then, everybody, take care, keep reading, keep collecting. We'll see you guys in the next review.
Later, everybody.